Hello, hello. Anyone out there? It's always fun to wait for the live to get started. Yeah, so while we wait, hello, beautiful, beautiful soul family. I absolutely love being here with you. Happy day 3. It has been so much fun so far. Thank you again for all of your posts yesterday. It is such a pleasure and such an honor to be graced with your presence. It really is an honor. And I just want to repeat that as you show up and you share your energy with me, it is a nice reward. And it's always important that we create reciprocating energy, right? When one person is giving, and the community is not responding or not engaging or not returning that energy, that can be a drain. And many times on some platforms, there is that expectation that you will just continue to give without being rewarded with just the presence of your energy. And so I really just want to say thank you to those of you who comment, who post, who engage, who not only support me, but also the community, because it really is appreciated and your energy matters. And I am really, really grateful and honored to be of service, to be utilized as the vessel to deliver these messages to you. So, all right, let's jump right in. I have hair on my mouth. Get that sucker out of there. All right, so today is the last day. Today is the last day, day 3. It truly has been a special time, and I've really enjoyed seeing all of you, your raw authenticity, and I truly, truly do love you so, so much. And again, you are deeply, deeply loved and held, not just by me in this energetic container, but also by the divine. So remember that you are not alone. You no longer, from this moment forward, ever have to go it alone, that I am here for you. This community is here for you, as well as a more extensive family that we have in another community as well, if that's something that you are looking for. So there's ample opportunity to continue to tap into the support that's being offered to you here, right? So just know that everything that you go through is felt by the collective in various ways, that we are not alone in this journey. On my YouTube channel, I do an intuitive energy reading every Monday for this exact reason, because when we hear that someone else is experiencing what you're experiencing, it can really help to remember we're not alone in this, right? That we collectively, especially in the last couple of months, have been going through a purging. And it feels like a death and a rebirth. And that truly is, there's astrological aspects that support the death and rebirth process, not just for the collective. Certainly in the US, they have their Pluto return. And that impacts the entire world, right? That we're all one. So we are all in this together. We are all experiencing this across the planet. So just remember, I cannot reiterate enough, you are not alone. And remember that separation is the number one belief of the ego. So anytime that belief comes up, identify that as the ego, right? That's the little trauma demon. We want to give them a name and separate ourselves from that false lie that wants to keep you down, right? Know that we do have to go through this. I always love the verse. It says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, right? I will fear no evil because I'm cared for, essentially, is the message. But what that means is we have to go through the valley, right? That's why brain spotting is so amazing, because it offers that process to heal the trauma, to desensitize the somatic triggers in the body so that we can move through it without it being painful or getting stuck in it. Some have said that it's similar to shadow work, although I've never felt like it was difficult like shadow work can be, but it's so simple and so easy, and the body handles it for you. It's truly the softest healing modality I've ever experienced. And so know that we do have to go through it, but it doesn't have to be difficult, right? We can't escape it, but we can hold being in our strength, being the one consistently through it. So can you remember to hold that belief that you are valuable? Can you remember to hold that belief that you are cared for and supported, that you are one with the divine and therefore one with all support that is available to you at all times? So even if you don't feel as important as someone else, you can hold knowing your value and worth. That even in the face of criticism or rejection, know that that person's behavior says everything about them and very little about your value and worth. It tells you how they're feeling inside. It does not say anything or very little about you, right? So we have to recognize, so beautiful when this insight came through, that it was a moment where I was feeling underappreciated. And I just remember that moment. It was so beautiful. I heard a person's inability to recognize your value and worth is not a reflection on your value and worth. It says everything about them and very little about you. I also remember the time when someone said, don't take it personally. And I just didn't know what that meant. I couldn't understand it, wrap my head around it, until one day I realized it's not about me. That's what that means. Don't take it personally means it has nothing to do with me. In fact, I can just go mind my own business, because whatever they're going through is theirs to deal with. As much as I am loving and supportive and here to assist when someone wants assistance, but if they are not in that place, then it's just not about me. And I need to sweep in front of my own door and let them take care of theirs. Right? We have to remember that the evidence of acceptance shows up when we don't need it. And that's, of course, the conundrum of the world that we live in. That means when we stop needing approval and validation, that's when we'll receive it. So know that, again, we are not alone, because collectively there is a wound to heal. There is a giant wound of not enoughness, of brokenness, of unworthiness, of not feeling safe, loved, seen, heard, cared for, right? A wound of expecting everyone else to heal our wounds, a wound of expecting the solution to come from outside of us. We must know that we matter first and foremost before anything else can fall into place. We have to become that energetic match to the happiness and the freedom and the love and the respect that we seek. There's a reason that personal development is growing in popularity. People are beginning to realize that emotions matter, that needs are valid, and that mental health matters. You matter. Every life matters, right? That beauty is in what this will lead to, the knowing, the awakening to our power to choose, the awakening to our power, period. For too long, we have given our power away to the other, to the external. It's time we get to see how beautiful life is meant to be. Depression, anxiety are on the rise, and they have been for 20 years, and there is no slowing down in that trend. There is a collective soul sickness urging us to quench that insatiable thirst for meaning and contribution, to do something that matters, to make a difference, to live out our purpose. Mediocre is not just okay anymore. It won't cut it. Our souls will not leave us alone until we listen to the call. How many of you want peace? How many of you want to quench that insatiable thirst? I think we've all seen the evidence of this in our lives. So then the next question is, what do we do about it? Am I supposed to just up and quit my job tomorrow? I cannot tell you that. It's up to you. And all I can do is suggest baby steps, taking small actions today while you're in your current paid role that allow you to remain in that sense of security and safety. But of course, if you feel called to it, I can't tell you otherwise. You are the ultimate source of guidance of what is right for you. Have you ever noticed that people just don't understand exactly what it is that you need? Only you know what is right for you. But what I can tell you is that finding your purpose takes time. It is a process of alchemy. It's like making soup. You add a little of this, you add a little of that, you taste it along the way, it marinates overnight, you check the flavor tomorrow. It might need some salt, it might need some more water, maybe a starch. It'll never be stagnant, and it's always unfolding. The more you do the work, the more the work works on you. Your purpose will unfold as long as you are committed to it. We will never be given the 5-year roadmap or the milestone list or the checkoff list, although you will be given moments of insight, knowing, clarity. once you're on the path, but you have to take that first step. You have to take demonstrative action that says, God, source, divine, creator, universe, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm doing this. Show me how. Right? And as with all growth, we will always be tested. I want to be able to deliver you the message that it's all rainbows and unicorns and sunshine after you make that commitment. But unfortunately, we learn best. We are most commonly leveled up through the hard times. And that doesn't have to be difficult. When we are in communion with and connection with and intimately having that constant conversation in those micro moments with the divine, we are guided, we are cared for, and we know we are safe. So it doesn't have to be as difficult as it sounds when I say there will be challenges. So just know that it's not going to be rainbows and unicorns and sunshine, but it doesn't have to be difficult and it doesn't have to be painful. Right? The pain comes when we resist what we are going through. But the universe will want to know that your commitment to the path is solid. Again, we can't have one foot out the door. You have to have confidence in your being the one. It is paramount. Your commitment to owning your power is critical. And no one has the power but you. Not a psychic, not a tarot reader, not an astrologer. No one knows what's right for you but you. You are the one wielding the power, and only you can be the decider. So we have to choose new beliefs. Only you can be the one to choose new beliefs. Only you can be the one to see and sense where your resistance is. Only you can realign energetically. Now, of course, when someone has perfected this process, I can help you see these things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I can say something to you and you can choose not to believe. You can choose to turn a blind eye or remain in cognitive dissonance that says, I don't want to accept that. It is ultimately up to you. You will be given the gift of mirrors to show you your blocks, whether it's me or someone else. Life will always present to you the triggers to help you see where your wounds are, the opportunities to heal. And it might feel prickly at first, but the perspective we choose can shift them into love. They will help you realign with the energetics of your goal. And once you master energetics and calibration and put down resistance, it's one of the most important keys, then you will start to see your path more clearly. That's when you're going to start to level up faster than ever before. Gifts will come online. I cannot reiterate this enough because I never would have thought of myself as having some of these abilities, but they're there. They're just hidden below our disbelief, below our limiting beliefs, below our negative thought loops, and below our trauma. So once you relieved all that, you use brain spotting, you go through the process of neuro reprogramming, you become free, literally. Energy is released, you become magnetic, you become unstoppable. There is momentum that is gained, and it cannot be stopped so long as you continue on that path. You are cared for and your needs will be met every single step of the way, even if you quit your job tomorrow, only if that's what you feel called to do. But even if you lose your job, I have clients who sign up and all of a sudden they lose their job. And that's okay. They have been provided for, and it was a little bit scary, but every single time they needed the money, it showed up. Every single time they needed the mortgage payment or the rent, it showed up. Every single time without fail. I do not have a single client that this has not worked for. And we have to know it's not up to us. The divine is going to handle this. This is the beauty. This is where it becomes truly effortless, right? I'm going to say effortless. We'll call it 98% effortless because the requirement of faith and trust and surrender, that's your effort. Beyond that, you can melt into the hands of the divine. I get the image of a trust fall into the universe. It will catch you. It can take time to fully support yourself on this path. It can take, on average, if you look at people, they look like the overnight success. But most coaches, most social media personalities, it took 2 to 3 years. That's usually about the time frame before things start to take off, which I find interesting because that is a cycle of Saturn, but that's a topic for another day. So just remember, the birds do not search for food. The trees do not search for water. You are your creator's favorite. Are you not more valuable? So long as you are energetically aligned to the divine through faith, trust, and surrender, you will be provided for. Taking divinely guided action is really key because many of us get insight or we get a suggestion and we delay. We go through the hamster wheel of let me think about it, let me figure it out. Right? Taking that immediate action is really key. That is one of the fastest ways to quantum leap is to just listen, right? Balance, guidance, action, like we talked about. We live in the beautiful world of the internet, so things can happen a lot faster. If you've already been working on this, things can happen in a few short weeks after you go through some brain spotting and start to remove that trauma, right? In the right strategy, in the right energy, any strategy can work, right? You get to do it your way because only you have access to that guidance. Only you have access to the divine to be able to tell you what is right for you. And in fact, it won't work for you unless you do it the way that is right for you. And of course, the voice of unworthiness will try to convince you, I'm not ready. It's not safe. I can't. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough support. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy, right? I have lived through all of those. And I can assure you, every single thing you need will show up as you need it every time without fail. No one is ever ready. Some willfully jump off and build their parachute on the way down. Of course, I was kind of one of those twice. Others wait until they're pushed by the universe and get the call and they don't listen and they don't listen. And eventually the universe shoves them off the cliff, right? You have the opportunity to prepare. You have the opportunity to prepare. I want to say that properly. If you've been feeling the call and you're here now, there are no coincidences. This is your message. You can start to prepare. You can invest in the healing. You can start posting on social media. You can do whatever it is, start to dabble with, stick your toe in the water of, so that when the time comes, you have done some of that pre-work. You don't have to wait 2.5 to 3 years. Just know that you'll never feel 100% ready. And the beauty of being here and now is that you're being offered a proven strategy. And if you commit and play full out, you will be on your way. And you will have a solid foundation. And this healing process / building the foundation for the business really doesn't take much more than 6 months. It can be even faster depending on your level of consciousness or how much pre-work you've done. I will say, many of my clients say, but I worked on that already. And they get frustrated with themselves. Why are we still here? And I'm telling you, I felt the same way. I worked on things for years and years and years. When I started brain spotting, it was weeks before I moved through things because there was so much of a foundation laid already. So it doesn't have to take 6 months. It can be very, very fast. But I like to undercommit and over deliver. So I'll say at a minimum, if you've done no work on your traumas within 6 months, we can move through these things and have you in a place where you are ready to do whatever it is you feel called to do. Like I said, it doesn't have to be an online business. It can be whatever you feel called to do. And that is the key is not my place to say what's right for you. It's not anyone's place to say what's right for you. I sort of envision myself as being the bumpers on the bowling alley, right? You are driving. I'm the comet tail to the comet, right? I'm going to just help steer you in the right direction or keep you in the lane so that we don't fall back into trauma regression, right? So just know that the first step is setting the intention. And when you say it out loud, know that you have launched a rocket of desire and buckle your seatbelt. Know that things will fall away, but that just means that things are falling into place. You have to know you cannot figure this out from the level of the mind. You will never be able to think your way into purpose. The mind, especially the trauma brain, is not our friend. It is the source of the Maya, of the illusion, of the veil, right? The never-ending merry-go-round in your head will only cause separation, confusion, and frustration. How many of you have been stuck on that hamster wheel of trying to solve a problem and realized it never found the solution? The solution came to you on its own, right? Many of us have experienced that. In fact, I would venture to say most of us. You have to take action. Action brings clarity. Tony Robbins would even say massive action, burn the boats, go all in. That's his thing, right? Again, follow your guidance and just know that the trauma demon sitting on your shoulder will bark in your ear and come with all of the different reasons why you should stay in your safe place. When you come up against that glass ceiling of trauma, it will freak out. That is those moments of overwhelm, self-sabotage, where you feel like, I just can't make it work. That was the voice of trauma that brought you back there. So I want you today, I like to call it the little trauma demon because I always envision the angel and the demon on my shoulder, right? But you need to know what is right for you. Find a way to separate yourself from that voice. Name that voice. You could call it Bob, Terry, Lam. I don't even know what that is or what that was supposed to be. Interesting. Let me know if that's for you. But name that voice, right? It can be the inner critic. It can be the voice of doubt. It can be the voice of, it's ego essentially, right? It's ego trying to convince you you don't deserve it or whatever it is. Notice that, separate yourself from that and choose in this moment not to listen to it anymore, right? As you hit your historic set point, it will start to freak out, right? We have sort of a thermostat, right? If we get too high, it's going to bring us back down, right? And know that with support and healing and guidance and healthy mirrors, you can find the right energetic alignment, even if it has not worked for you in the past. Time and time again, when you commit to the path over and over and invest in your healing, you will retrain your brain to work for you. The mind is a tool and it is designed to work for you. You are meant to be in control of it. It is not meant to drive. Okay. The heart has an electromagnetic field 10,000 times greater than the brain. The brain is not meant to be in control. The heart is, right? There are exercises and processes that will help you identify these old neural pathways and reprogram them, which essentially means dissolve them and create new ones. And over 90 days, you will start to begin to see the evidence of these new neural pathways. It will get easier, and you will start to see that these old ones are literally turning into hot air. They dissolve and go away, right? You have to remove that glass ceiling of trauma through brain spotting. That is the most critical step. We cannot heal without somatic healing when we have experienced what we've talked about over the last couple of days. So once you do this, your mental energy will flow in the direction of your dreams almost effortlessly. You won't have to strive anymore. It won't feel like a struggle. You won't feel like you're hitting your head against a brick wall or you're playing tug of war with the battle of the brains, right? You'll be able to tap into that level of certainty and a confidence you have never experienced before. Trust me, there are no words to articulate how tremendously powerful this is. Confidence comes from competence. That means doing. We will never become confident from a place of thinking. We cannot expect to feel confident while sitting on the couch and avoiding action. We have to follow the guidance that we are given without delay. And over time, we will build new muscles and create new neural pathways, not only for ourselves, but also for the people we love and for the world as a whole, so that we can create the new earth. We are valuable and we deserve the love and respect that we seek. Our thoughts are the source of creation. In the beginning was the Word. Everything we see on earth was created with a focused thought and a spoken word. Are you ready to start creating with intention instead of misfiring? Are you ready to finally live the life of your dreams? So then the question is, how do I identify my purpose? Now I kind of covered this, but I really want to just simplify it into the step-by-step process so you fully understand what this takes. The first step is healing, brain spotting, somatic therapy, right? That will help us remove the blocks that are hidden from us in our subconscious patterns, right? Hidden in our rearview mirror. That is going to allow us to remember our value and our worth, to remember and to know at a core cellular level, to feel, to emanate oneness with the divine and all that is. It will allow you to finally follow your guidance without the self-sabotage and the overwhelm and the overgiving and the shutting down. You will start to see your joy again. Many of us don't even know what brings us joy because it has been so buried beneath all of the trauma and the beliefs that there's something wrong with me or I can never get my needs met. We will find our joy again and be able to use that as a compass. That will show us the next right step. Joy combined with guidance are the two factors that will show you the way, right? And as soon as we receive the guidance, we'll be able to take that action because we are fully rested, right? We have turned off the fight or flight mechanism. We are in rest and digest, growth and repair. So we can be in that place of receiving, right? Know that fight or flight is very masculine and it's blocking. Rest and digest is receiving and feminine. We must be in full faith and in trust and surrender, which is that feminine, open, receiving, magnetic mode. This is how we will receive more and more guidance towards our purpose. And we have to remember it is not up to us. We are not in control. We are doing this in conjunction with the divine. We cannot do it alone. And the fact that we believe we do have to do it alone blocks us from the guidance and the surrender that is necessary. So surrendering into the divine allows us to find that flow, the effortless magnetism that we are seeking, the alignment, the calibration. So I always think of the nursery rhyme, row, row, row your boat, right? Gently down the stream. That is the feeling, right? In the body of surrendering into and being guided and led by the divine. And none of that can happen when we are in that hypervigilant, masculine blocking. I'm all on my own. I'm separate. I'm attached to an outcome and I have to control its state. Okay. All right. So let me know if we need to do a Q&A, if I was not clear on that or if something didn't quite make sense, let me know. I am open to an additional day for Q&A as well. Right. So let's just recap, because over the last couple of days, I've covered a lot. I kind of try to give you everything. I can't do anything half-assed. So I try to give you as much as I can in these 3 days. So over the last couple of days, we have recognized that we are the one. We are capable of creating the change that we want to see. We realize that we are one with the divine. We are inherently worthy because we cannot be separated from our creator. Simply because we breathe and exist, our worthiness is a gift. It is our birthright, and no one can take that away from us. We have learned to start questioning the voice that says, who am I? We've learned to name that voice and see it as a lie of the ego. We refuse to believe in separation. We are awakening to the beauty that life is meant to be. We can be happy. We deserve, not only do we deserve to have our needs met, the divine needs us to have our needs met, because that's how we raise our vibration. That's how we shine. That's how we make an impact in the world. The world is meant to be our oyster. And we know that there is no one on earth that can do the thing that you were meant to do, that you are special. As much as I don't want to feed into the ego, there is something important about you. You are needed. And the world needs the gift that only you have to offer. We've learned to love that we are perfectly imperfect for our purpose. We've learned to locate those missing parts of us, the ones that were rejected or denied or thought to be a liability. We've called them back and integrated them lovingly. We've replaced what was lost, and it is now found so that we can become whole again. We realize our power and our worth so that we become unshakable. No one can touch someone who is unified with the divine. We recognize our current frequency as being the source of our creation and the access to the future we seek. We recognize that I am the one to shift. We remember attunement and calibration ease the process, and that we are not meant to do this alone, that we are built for connection, that there is a world out there just waiting to reflect our beauty to us, to show us a better way and to point to a better day. We remember that life is a gift and that it is happening for us and not to us, that the calibration is happening in every moment, in the micro moments of every day of our lives. We shine light on the thoughts of limitation. We catch the beliefs of lack. We observe the presumed outcome of not liking ourselves in the mirror before we even look. Have you ever noticed that? You've already decided you're not going to like what you see. We choose to break that cycle. We choose to break the cycle of believing we have to go it alone. We choose to break the cycle of believing it's all up to us. We choose to believe in the beauty of others. We choose to connect and to collaborate and to embrace healthy mirrors that help us see our blind spots. There is a better way. If we allow ourselves to fall in love with a mentor that has done what we want to do, we allow them to feel like home so that there isn't anything that can stop you. And we remember there are no brownie points for going it alone. That belief is the very thing that sets us up for failure. That reinforces the question, what if I'm not enough? It keeps us stuck in that cycle of brokenness. Hold on. Sorry about that. That was a good one. It got me. All right. So where are we at? We have to remember to embrace our value and to choose to know we are worthy, to shine our light and to be seen and offer grace for others. Through our presence and connection, no longer will we fear being seen, for we only have this one moment to choose, to receive the love and respect that we so deeply desire. That's when we step into the certainty of I am the one. And we step into the knowing that I am the decider. We choose to remember. We become the one to heal, the one to lead, the one to be led, the one to own our power, the one to recalibrate and align. We have decided to believe, and we choose to rewrite the story. We choose to reclaim the lost parts of ourselves. We choose to reconnect to others, empowering them to be the one to decide, to choose. We choose to reclaim our dreams, to build heaven on earth, that there is a certainty to the level of honesty that is required here. The brain will not assist you in your desire for change until you train it to work for you. It will tell you all sorts of lies to keep yourself safe, which it believes is the opposite of change. We remember to choose to name that voice, the little trauma demon. Change may feel uncomfortable until you reframe it. And that, again, is another choice that we can redefine uncomfortable. We can choose to see it as growth, as opportunity, as a new beginning. If you're feeling comfortable and safe, question it, because we fear change only because the brain has told us it's not safe. We can adapt. We can change and shift our perspective. We can see discomfort with new eyes and find a different way. We can tell ourselves a new story and hack that neurochemistry that makes you feel uncomfortable. We can learn how to train the brain to work for us. Notice the story that you have chosen to tell yourself. Notice the limiting beliefs that you cling to, the things that you say to yourself over and over that make excuses for why this won't work for you. Notice the meaning that you have assigned to that story and choose to tell a new story. Remember that you cannot hold the energy of fear and love at the same time. Remember that our abundance is directly connected to our self-worth. That is why manifesting abundance through your life purpose requires healing and removal of the blocks. It is our belief in our worthiness that will allow us to succeed. Are you ready to let go of the last remnants of what holds you back? Are you ready? So let's get familiar with the limiting beliefs that are holding us back and give you this opportunity to see if any of these play out for you. What meaning have you assigned or created? So notice anytime, if I were to ask you, what does your dream life look like? So many times people sometimes can't even tell me what the dream life looks like. Oftentimes, it just goes straight to the reasons why they can't have it. Others will tell me, I want to travel the world. I want a mansion on the beach. I want a private beach access. And by 5 or 10 minutes later in the conversation, they've explained that they'll work hard for it and will justify it and will earn it. And maybe it doesn't need to be a mansion. And if it's just close to the beach, that would be okay too. And we back down into the 2-bedroom apartment in the inner city because somehow we don't believe we're worth it, or we deserve it, or we've earned it. So notice, what meanings and stories do you cling to? What holds you back? What are the beliefs that you are not yet letting go of? And there are so many things that we hold on to that we can't see. Perpetual habits hanging out in our blind spot. It makes me think of the show Hoarders. There was a woman who lived in the same house for 30 years. She never threw anything away. She lived in a 2-story home, and the garbage was piled up to the ceiling on both floors. Her kids had left home, and there was no reason for her to go upstairs anymore, so you couldn't even get up there. The house was packed with trash. And one day, the intervention team came and they tried to go in the front door, but they couldn't get in. They had to squeeze through the small, narrow pathway that came through the back of the house to the woman's bedroom. And they found her sitting on a mattress, dirty, with no sheets, just an old tattered blanket and a bare pillow. And they sat down beside her and she squirmed uncomfortably. She hadn't had people in the house in years. And one man picked up a popsicle stick and he asked her, "Can I throw this away?" And she said, "No, that was my son's popsicle stick. You can't take that from me." To her, it was sentimental. She believed there was something important that somehow served her or met a need. But she couldn't see how all of this garbage was holding her back, choking the life out of her and any potential for happiness. We too cling to beliefs that we think are serving us. Depression, anxiety, the belief in it not being safe out there. All of these things meet a need, just in an unresourceful way. And we don't realize that we cling to them because we believe they meet a need. What we don't realize is the need could be met in a resourceful way that doesn't limit us or keep us from a life that we would actually love. We have to start seeing these things as blockages, what holds us back. We have to clear out the clutter of our minds, of fear, of unworthiness or not being good enough or questioning our value and worth. We have to identify those negative thought patterns. We have to choose so that we can catch and replace them with beliefs like, I know I'm one with my creator, therefore I am one with abundance and support and all that there is. I'm already whole and complete. I don't need to do anything to accomplish or achieve that. Those limiting beliefs, any disbelief, any doubt, any time you find yourself saying, yeah, but, that's the thing we need to go after. That's what limits your vision and clutters your mind, strengthening the Maya and the illusion. They say that a miracle is just a shift in perspective. Are you ready for a miracle? Are you ready to surrender your mind to the divine? If you simply accomplish that perspective shift, you will see miracles in your life, and doors will open that you never thought possible. So just ask for the divine to help you renew your mind. Undoubtedly, you have the limiting belief about money. That's why we're here. How often do you find yourself saying, I don't have enough money? Have you said that recently? I can't afford it. That's too expensive. I can't invest in myself. I shouldn't spend that on myself. Right? I can't spend money on me. Most people with not enoughness wound experience this type of pattern or something similar. But I can promise you it's not true. And it's only your belief and perspective that creates it. Where there is a will, there is a way. And you do deserve to invest in yourself. You are your greatest asset and resource. There is no greater place to make an investment. There is no greater return on investment. So back at this time. Look back at a time when you recently spent a chunk of money. And it might have seemed scary as you were going into it, and you worried about it, and you got on the hamster wheel about it, but you finally did it. You spent the money, you moved through it. How long did you miss it? Did you really struggle without it? Or did you quickly move to the next thing to worry about? We always have everything we need. And the real challenge here, the real problem is that voice of trauma that tortures you in the prison of your mind. It doesn't believe you deserve to invest in yourself. It doesn't believe you've earned your dreams. Will you let that voice win? Or are you ready to choose a new belief? The truth is, we cannot hold abundance in our current state. Our beliefs don't support it, and that's why you're here. Our energy is not aligned to it, and your bank account will tell you how aligned you are to the frequency of abundance. If you're not where you need to be, you need to recalibrate. Tell a new story. Let go of those beliefs of I can't. Money is an energy, and it's always coming and going. It's always around us all the time, just waiting for us to let it come in. You will spend the money either way, and more will come either way. Holding on to it only increases the lack. It slows down the flow of abundance. So we have to choose a new belief. Choose to say, I have more than enough. I am cared for and deeply loved. There is always a way. Watch doors open for you when you ask the question, how can I make this work? Instead of saying, I can't. Believe that you are worthy of investing in yourself, investing in your future. I am the best investment that I could make. It will benefit not only you, but those that you love, as well as the collective whole. What we put out there always comes back. Be the decider and speak with certainty. Abundance is my birthright. I am the one to create my dreams. Money is my friend. Together we co-create heaven on earth. Money and I do great things together. Abundance flows to me every day in many ways, in ever increasing amounts from multiple accounts. Remain as king when asking the question. So look at the etymology of the word asking, as king. When you ask that question, how can I make this work? You are opening yourself up to the possibilities. Don't let the voice of fear and doubt creep in. Choose to believe in yourself. Choose to remember your divinity. Choose to remember you are one with abundance. And it is all around you. You just have to get out of your own way by removing the disbelief, by taking back the reins of your life. What is the cost of not investing in yourself? How long will you stay here? How long will you continue to do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result? What is the true cost? What would you do to make your dreams a reality? What is it really worth? Watch the mind and watch the tricks, how it will play tricks on you even in this moment. Watch the triggers. They are your gift. It will tell you it's not safe to put yourself out there. It's not safe to spend the money. People are evil. I can't handle the energy of being seen. I have to protect myself and tuck myself away. The truth is, 56% of the world is capable of healthy attachment, which means healthy relationships. Know that it is a lie, that it is not safe, or that you are lacking. Your brain has found evidence in the past and thinks it has proven something. But your brain will always find evidence to prove the things you believe. Confirmation bias is real. You just need to shift and change the neural pathways and go through the healing so that we can start to provide the brain with the evidence that it is possible. We have to start seeing that filter of trauma and how it causes us to believe in our unworthiness. Think of it maybe even as gremlins crawling on your brain, or like I said, sitting on your shoulder, constantly chattering in your ear. They are not your friend. That voice is not your friend, and it does not have your best interest in mind. They don't want you to change. They don't want you to live the life that you were designed to. Name that beast and take your power back. Call it the inner critic, call it Sally, call it whatever you want. The voice of doubt, the voice of fear, the ego, whatever you need to separate yourself from that lie. So you can remember, you are the only thing standing in your way, and the divine wants you to realize your dreams. You are valuable, you are worthy, you are enough, you are perfect for your purpose, just as you are. There are no parts of you that are bad, wrong, or broken. You are your creator's favorite. You are a gift to the world, and the world needs that special gift that only you can offer. You cannot fail if you don't give up. Somewhere deep down in your soul, you know this to be true. It feels good, doesn't it? Inevitably, that fear of I don't have the money is part of the unworthiness wound. And I was shocked to discover that actually is the first step in the process of healing, is making that commitment to yourself, to the divine, to your purpose, to your family, to your future. Refusing to comply with that voice of disbelief and breaking through the barriers, the illusion, the Maya. This is how you show up for yourself. This is how you stop abandoning yourself. One of my favorite tips to share is that remain as king tip. Remember that you are so powerful that you are literally the one creating your own barriers. You can also create a life aligned with the divine when you stop creating limitation. By saying, I can't, I shouldn't, I don't have enough money, you've put up a brick wall between you and your goal. Just like I said, that masculine fight or flight, you've put yourself in resistance to the very thing that could literally save your life. When you ask the question, how can I make this happen? You are opening doors, windows, portals, however you want to see it. Everything you need is within you, and it's available to you. Again, it's just that matter of recalibration and alignment. So I ask you one last time, are you ready to reclaim your power and your abundance birthright? I have seen the evidence, not only in my life, but in the work I would do every single day, day after day, client after client. I am so happy to be able to say that this has truly not worked for any single person. Okay, I'm going to say that differently. It needs to be said in the positive. This has worked for every single client I have ever worked with. Not one. And there were some that came and I thought, oh my gosh, are we going to get through these blocks? I won't name names, but I love you to death. There's a couple of you, you know who you are. We finally broke through. It is possible. And I don't think there is an exception to this rule. So don't you dare let that trauma voice tell you it won't work for me. One day, trauma healing will be known globally because this literally is a life skill. This is the human condition. The vast majority of the world is dealing with it. And it's literally impossible to live a happy life without this healing. So that's why I have dedicated my life and every ounce of my resources, whether it's energetic or monetary, towards building this system for you, providing the community, the safe place, the healing, and rolling this out as far and vast and wide as we possibly can, so that you can step into your purpose, because your purpose is my purpose. You have to be able to make a living through it. And that's why I include everything that you need in the system that I'll mention in a second. Right? It's not about this amazing system that I have built. I truly am honored to be the vessel that the divine has moved through to be able to offer this to you. So we are ending nearing the end of our time together, but it doesn't have to be over. If you've resonated with me over the last few days, if you felt that I speak your language and that you'd like to continue the conversation, I have a couple options for you. I like to make things as accessible as possible. So I do offer a course that I developed quite some time ago, but that allows me to offer it at a very reasonable price. It's called Overcoming Depression. If you struggle with those negative thought loops, or you've gone through the, or are in the dark night of the soul, and you really just want to tackle the depression and anxiety, I have a course for you for just $77 that should really move you through and get you ready for that next step. The second option is my Mastering the Trauma Brain course, where we identify the complex trauma and how those trauma responses show up in your life. It is a self-study course. There are 20 lessons, and we will also cover the reprogramming of the neural pathways and healing the complex trauma. That course is $330, and I do have a monthly payment plan of $88. The last option that I have is the Manifesting Abundance Through Your Life Purpose Masterclass and Coaching Program. This is everything you could possibly need, right? We'll move through the depression and the anxiety. We'll master the trauma brain. We'll identify the key words where you have beliefs around not enoughness, unworthiness, not feeling safe in the world. And we'll do that in one-on-one brain spotting sessions and coaching sessions. We meet bi-weekly. I used to say 30 minutes. I have yet to really keep it to that. So we're going to say 45 minutes or an hour, really whatever it takes to get through that. I absolutely do not end a session unless we have moved through whatever's come up in that session. The course that's also offered with that will offer you everything else that you need to, again, reprogram the neural pathways, learn manifestation. I do have some processes that will help you sort of rediscover your life purpose if you're feeling that it's difficult to get in touch with what your dream life looks like, or what your joy, or what creates joy in your life. The course will assist. So the course is there to continue the education and the support throughout these spaces in between the coaching and brain spotting sessions. I also teach how to make a living doing it, right? So I've said a couple of times, I can't offer you an incomplete solution. So we have to identify how to heal, remove those blocks and the trauma through the brain spotting, but then I'll also help you identify your life purpose and make a living through it, right? So build a business. So product development 101, launching an online business, marketing, sales, social media strategies, funnels, ads, all the whole 9 yards. Whatever you need to make this happen is part of the course and or the coaching sessions, right? And of course, brain spotting is part of those coaching sessions. So that's somatic healing, inner child healing, and theta healing as necessary, depending on what comes up in those sessions. You can also use the sessions to ask questions about your offer, or your marketing strategy, or whatever you feel is top of mind for you. And all of that is for 6 months. So 6 months of coaching, and then lifetime access to the course for $2,000 or $333 a month for 6 months. And I will say, I have made a commitment to myself to honor my value and worth, and I raise my price every time I do one of these sessions. So as of December 6th, which will be Monday, the new price will be $3,000. So for the rest of this week only until Monday, that is the lowest available price of $2,000 or $333 for a month. Okay, so before we go, we still have one more freebie. I will post a link in the group if you're interested in purchasing any of those options. Otherwise, I do want to offer you one more freebie for today's activity. For today's freebie, please post in the group, how has the masterclass changed your life? How has the last 3 days impacted you? What has created the aha moment for you? How has this been life-changing? And you can do that in video, or you can do that in post. And when you do that, shoot me a DM, let me know that you have posted, and I will send you a theta healing for removing abundance blocks. So you'll get a good taste of what we do in some of the sessions. And then know that if you have completed any of the days of homework and or invited anyone to the group, I will put your name in a hat, and we will pull names Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. Central Time. I will do that live. I will jump on for a live drawing for the free coaching session. So if you want to get your name in the hat, make sure you DM me and let me know if you posted day 1, 2, or 3 activity, or if you invited someone to the group. I will put your name in a hat. We will draw that live at 1 p.m. Central on Friday. And then if there are questions, I will be open for Q&A that day as well. All right. That is it, my friends. I love you guys. I'm always a little bit sad to say goodbye. It's never a permanent goodbye. I will be here for you in whatever capacity you need me. Please do feel free to reach out. I am a real human. I am on the other end of that DM. That is me responding every single time. So do let me know how I can serve you and continue to hold space for you. I truly, 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 truly love you. And I want you to know that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what you haven't done. The core of you is beautiful. And that is your truth. Don't ever forget it. All right. I love you, my friends. Namaste.